from University of Detroit, USA, and PhD in Polymer Science and Engineering from Leahy University, USA. He is the CEO of Zydex Industries, a research-driven chemical company which has developed and markets 200 plus innovative solutions for textiles, waterproofing and paints, road construction and agriculture. Dr. Ranka's contribution have been recognized by a number of awards in the country and overseas as well. We are proud also to let you all know that Zydex has bagged the Ajay Award for Export Excellence in 2001 and Award for Research and in Science and Technology in 2011. International Road Federation's prestigious International Award in Research 2013. Marico Innovation Foundation's India's Best Innovation Award in 2014. And FGA Award for Excellence in the area of Outstanding Entrepreneur 2015. We are very proud also to announce that our own Dr. Ranka is appointed as a director in the Technology Development Board of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and was also appointed as a director on the board of International Road Federation for the term 18-20. I now invite Dr. Ranka to address us.
Good morning to you all, Mr. Chawla, Mr. Dave, and friends. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to be part of this conclave on manufacturing excellence. So let me start with why excellence will be required. I think the first point I would like to say is you need to achieve excellence because you want to survive. You don't want to die as a manufacturing company. You're not doing it because you're doing something great. You're just doing it because you need to survive in the future. This is the first statement. The second is, what is the responsibility of a manufacturing sector as we evolve in the 21st century? See, manufacturing sector is the one which consumes raw materials. And that links you directly with sustainability of the earth. You are going to be one of the most important contributor in either destroying this earth or allowing the future generations to live comfortably. Now, why do I say that? Imagine yourself as visitors to this planet. I think none of you are going to be living here forever, right? Okay. So, if we are visitors to this planet, imagine the visitors which are likely to come on this planet in the year 3000. And ask them to look back at you as the 21st century generations. And you will realize that the way you will be characterized or remembered will be the most selfish grandfathers, grandmothers ever lived on this earth. Does that make sense? And if that is so, you as the manufacturer have the biggest responsibility to address sustainability in terms of conserving limited resources. So this is point number one. And this needs to be kept in mind when we are talking about excellence. Because excellence is about survival. So without doing this, you cannot survive as a manufacturer. Now let's build some context in terms of why it is going to become difficult to survive. What is changing so fast since 1975 to let's say 2020? The first thing is the paradigm shift in expectation of quality of products. मुझे याद है 1975 में जब हम एम्बेसडर खरीदते थे तो हमारा एक जोक होता था कि गाड़ी जब तक 3 बार सर्विसिंग के लिए नहीं गई तब तक बाहर नहीं ले जा सकते. So it was part of acceptance by the community saying that 3 servicing is important to fix everything what the manufacturer has left behind. Today, If your car goes for 3 times in 3 years, you will actually frown. You know, what the hell? These guys don't know how to make an automobile. See the paradigm shift. That means the customer's tolerance to quality has ended. And this is one very big paradigm shift which has happened. And one of the thing is, I think most of you are SME sectors. How many would be the large ones, large sectors? Okay, very few. So, what is the definition of an SME as far as I can see? I don't call it a small and medium scale industry or enterprises, but I call you as smart and meritorious enterprises. Why I am saying that? Had you not been that, in this transition of last 30 years, you would have been dead. The very fact that you are sitting in this room, there has to be some smartness, some meritorious attributes about your company, and which you need to take advantage of. Now, the future challenges, where are they emerging? So, the first challenge is going to be the environmental challenge. You cannot be allowed to pollute and produce. I think the government is becoming stricter, but more than that, your neighbors are becoming stricter. And so the excellence is required to manage your ecosystem, environmental systems. The second big change which I see is in social compliance. So be it safety of your own worker, be it safety of your neighbors, right from decibel values to the exposure to chemicals to, back-breaking sort of weight, moved around. All these issues have become significant, and again, excellence will be required. The other paradigm shift which is going to be challenging the industry is going to be the automation and AI. And the 5G introduction in the next 5 years is likely to make a huge dent in this area. I think the question every one of you will have to go back and ask, will I be replaced by a robot? Will my industry be actually taken away and become irrelevant because the consumer will not need these goods anymore? Take a simple example. A car is transiting from a 2000 moving parts of a fuel-based vehicle to a 20 parts electric vehicle. That means almost 1980 parts manufacturers are going to be gone. And a lot of these things will happen. I'll give you an example. AI is likely to evolve what we call as specialized intelligence in a specific field, what we are now today term as AI, to become AGI in the next 15 years. That means artificial general intelligence, where the intelligence will know lots of things like all of you do, not only one specific thing. And in the next 15 years, it will evolve into what we call as ASI, artificial super intelligence. Now, why this is important to understand? Because your cognitive capability is actually going to be mimicked by a artificial intelligence. And this is for real. So next 30 years, if you really look at yourself, the question you will have to debate every 6 months, am I going to be replaced? And this is going to be the biggest challenge, why excellence is going to be required, that you will have to rediscover yourself in terms of manufacturing when all these things will happen. Let me give you an example. Amazon, I think most of you have heard the name of the company, extremely ambitious. What are they talking about? Amazon is saying, my job is not only to deliver goods at the cheapest cost when wanted, but the definition and the aim of the company is, I will deliver the product without you even ordering it. Look at the use of an AI or AGI which will happen, or AS, the I which will happen, he will want to deliver goods to you at your doorsteps without even you ordering it. He will know everything about you. His cognitive sense will be far better than you. Look at the excellence people are trying to talk about. Look at them trying to deliver goods and services of clothes in 24 hours to 48 hours. And so what is going to be important? See, in the last, I would say, 20 years, there is a lot of debate and a lot of talk about EQ. I am saying time has come to stop discussing this EQ. You better start focusing on IQ. Why I am saying that? I am not saying EQ is not important. But I am saying the time has come to focus on IQ. Look at every man who has produced trillions of dollars of wealth. Take Steve Jobs, take Jeff Bezos, take any of them. Elon Musk. All of them are hard taskmasters having zero EQ in them. But extreme high level of IQ. And they have been the most successful in the last 25 years. Look at even Bill Gates. Very low on EQ. What it tells you, all I'm wanting you to take the inference home is intelligence, excellence at a driven level, ambition level will be required for you to survive. Again, I'm coming back to your survival constantly. I'll share with you a prediction of Peter Drucker, one of the greatest thinkers of 20th century. Peter Drucker very clearly predicted in his paper that 80% of manufacturing businesses as they stand in 20th century, that means year 2000, they will die, they will go away. Only 20 will survive. And the reason, according to me, is big has become beautiful. In the last decade, if you see, small, medium is no more beautiful. That whole thing is died. Big is beautiful now. Why big is beautiful? Because all the inefficiencies of a big corporation have been eliminated using the technological tools like telephony, like internet, like ERP systems and all that. So suddenly, if you don't graduate in manufacturing sector and become big and extremely specialized, extreme IQ development, your likelihood of survival is almost zero. And I just want to bring this point to the table. So having built this context of why you will not survive, the question is, what can you do? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to share some of the things which I have been doing, see if it makes sense or if you are able to relate to those in your organizations and see if it helps you. One thing which comes to my mind, and I have been very passionate about that, is addressing the cleanliness of my workers' toilet. Now you will say that what a workers' toilet has to do with manufacturing excellence. When I set up my first manufacturing plant, I remember out of 3.5 crore budget, I spent 4.5 lakh rupees on my workers' toilet block. And my works manager was actually looking at me and said, Dr. Sahab, kya kar rahe aap? Why are you spending so much of money on this? And I said, look, you look at this as my donation, my idiosyncrasies to the society. I did that. After that, for the next 6 months, the only thing I would do when I enter into the plant is go straight to the workers' toilet, and if I find one yellow spot, the whole factory was buzzing with my voice. My works manager would be there, my utility manager would be there, my cleaning guy was there, and I would give them a very hard time. They could not understand my mentality. Why am I so passionate about it? But when I made that change of cleanliness in the workers' toilet, my factory, I never had to tell them that keep it clean. And the benefit was Someday that worker will start cleaning his own toilet in his house. Someday his relatives will mimic that. And that's how the societal transformation happens. So I think you need to go to the lowest level in your company and actually visit that and see what is happening. The second point which we have practiced is, I would say, the environmental excellence. Anything which goes out of your factory in terms of waste, I think you need to really focus on that as the top management. Every gram, every paper, every plastic, every packaging, every waste you produce needs to go through your eyes. And if you can really do that as production heads, as people who are responsible for manufacturing, I think that is what will help you to address the environmental concern. The third is the area of safety. Now, like in our company, we realized at some point of time that we actually bungled up in terms of not installing everything flame-proof, whereas we are a chemical plant manufacturing. And when this was pointed out, it was a straight commitment of 1.5 to 2 crore rupees. And it did not even took me a blink, but I said committed. Unless you show commitment about safety, today the government tolerance on safety on anything related to hazard has gone. Nobody wants to spare. So that's something which we do as a part of our excellence, saying that no compromise. Whatever money is required, when it comes to safety, spend it. Just don't even blink your eye. One of the points I would like to bring it to you, and this, a lot of us who manage businesses, we think consultants are a liability. It's a luxury. If you really want to drive excellence in your companies, I would say religiously, like you donate money in a mandir, please donate some money to your consultants. I'm just saying it in a little lighter vein. This man will return your money multiplied by 5 times to 10 times. Believe me, this is my personal experience. Unless you get the best people to come and advise you on various aspects of manufacturing, be it technical, be it environmental, be it safety, be it systems, whatever it may be it cleanliness, Kaizen, name anything. Keep bringing consultants, keep paying them, and you will realize that if you have a commitment to listen to them and implement what they have told you, the chances you will really start achieving excellence is very high. One of the things which we have also done is we went after certifications in the last 3 to 4 years. So I went first for social compliance certificate, SA8000. Why? Because there were so many regulatory issues which we overlooked. Take example, very interesting example I'll give you. Security. You pay 12 hours? I think all of you. Nobody makes a security work for 8 hours, is that right? But you don't pay them overtime. For the first time when I went for SA8000, they pointed out, sir, you are not compliant to the law. You have to pay him for that extra 4 hours. But I said, he will not work. The guy is coming from UP, Bihar. He has to work 12 hours. He says, doesn't matter. When you adopt a standard, you have to pay. You have to be compliant. And I said, okay, we will pay. So we said, we will start paying double the price. Now see what is the interesting benefit. I said, look, we have increased our cost. So what do we do? So when you pay double, you get actually the better guys to work for you. And we said, let's cut down on the number of people we really need, because now we have much better quality of people manning our facilities. So our end of the day, the cost remained same, but we became perfectly legally compliant. And this is where the excellence comes in. So what you may realize that certifications are a constant pressure on the organization to to upgrade systems, improve your compliances, making sure that you don't sort of closed, you don't get closed by the government. And these are the few sort of steps which we have taken. So, in short, what I would like to share with you is, we as India have one genetic problem which we are fighting as a group, and that is demand for excellence. हमारे यहाँ पे एक एटीट्यूड बन गया है, चलता है, साहब चाले छे, એટલું બધું તો ચાલે છે, right? That chalta hai attitude, I think after today's deliberation, needs to end. I think we need to start demanding pothole-free roads. We need to start demanding that every structure we will build will be the one which will last for 500 years or 100 years. Every machine which we will build will not depreciate but will run for a long, long time. Everything which we do will be engineered, nothing shortcut, nothing shoddy we will do. And this has to be a genetic change, and you must percolate this message down across. Unless you as the senior managers or owners actually start demanding excellence, you will not succeed, you will not survive. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.